And so many questions for her. So this first one coming in saying that it's their first time with a carnivorous plant.
Yay.
And how do they grow it? This is a little scary.
Well, it's first of all, I think it's hilarious that I have kids coming in and they're deathly afraid of carnivorous plants because they've morphed like the Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes,
with,
or the Power Rangers. They have some scary plants.
Yeah, so anyway, so carnivorous plants, they get their energy from eating insects. So they don't need fertilizer, don't want fertilizer, will die with fertilizer. Real quick, the keys are you need to take that pot and put it in about 1 inch or 2 of water. The water has to be pure water. Distilled water, reverse osmosis, rainwater, no Davis tap water, no harsh water, no well water. So that's the key because you don't want to fertilize them. Don't put your finger in there and close those leaves up. Those leaves only open X number of times, like 5 times. A lot of energy to close and open those leaves. So if you're going to put something in it, make sure it's a live insect, freshly killed insect. Don't just keep putting your finger in there. Those are leaves. They will die down, so don't freak out if some of them die. They need full sun. They're native to North and South Carolina, so believe it or not, they need more sun than inside usually allows. But if you are putting inside, south window, they can handle the cold outside. And the last thing is, when you go to transplant it, which you won't need for quite a while, peat moss with no fertilizer, sand, and perlite. That's the key.
Okay.
You think I've said that more than a few times?
Our redwoods are 15 to 20 years old. We removed the grass and put pavers in a few years ago, and they've been losing the leaves from the inside out.
Okay, so it's normal, especially with the age of this redwood tree, for it to randomly, branches can die, that's normal, and the leaves on it, the needles will die on it. So a few years ago, we got into a drought, and a lot of the evergreens are suffering from that. And as far as the move in the grass and the pavers, that could have, because redwoods have shallow root systems. They're used to the fog. That's how they get the fog in their native habitat. So what could have happened is just disturbing a lot of those surface roots. That could have done some damage, but I doubt it, because they had a lot of little surface roots, and unless you dug a whole majority of them up, I think they're okay. It's normal. So what I want you to look for is any sap oozing, holes with sawdust material, or whole entire limbs dying, because that can be a sign of infection or boars boring in. But here and there, that's fine. They're going to lose some limbs and needles. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. If in doubt, if large pieces start dying off, get an arborist in, because they are big trees and you want to be careful.
Okay, last one here. Okay. What is this? Obviously a citrus, but only 2 fruits, about 10 inches tall, really thick skin.
Oh, okay. So there is a fruit called the pomelo that you could buy. Possibly someone planted that as the plant they wanted, but more likely what happened is citrus are grafted onto rootstocks to make them now semi-dwarf and not get as large as they are, and to overcome some of the soils that we have here. So most likely what happened is the graft took over. The desirable upper top of the plant could have either died, or it's not as robust as that rootstock. So look for at the base of the leaves. If it has these little weird like little wings on it, that's what's happening. And also trace where that fruiting line is going back. If it's going below the soil line or below the graft line, cut it off if there's any portion of the citrus that is the one you want still there. So it's hard to tell, but that's what I think is happening. It was probably the graft took over. Happens.
Okay, it happens.
Marlene,
it happens.
Yeah.
All right, plant lady, thank you very much.